Good evening, everyone. I am Leslie. Is that you, David?
Yeah, it is me, the legend himself. My name is David Gokhshtein, and we are here with a nightly recap powered by the Gokhshtein News Network. What's going on, Les?
And we are your trusted source for politics, crypto, and everything in between that makes you question reality. David, it's going to be a nice and easy night ahead, so stop clenching your butthole, sir.
Is that? Oh, I just read it. He's a he or she is a savage. All right. Look, I'm just gonna look through this real quick because I want to touch on a topic. Hold on, let's see. And no, it's not on here. So I guess we can touch on the topic. You want to do it now or later? Let's do it later. How about
Let's
that?
do it. Yeah, let's get through the news because we already knows what happens when we start talking about everything and anything else. Uh, we'll go insane, and then we'll never get through the news. You know, it's been proving on Friday nights
Yeah, I don't. What what you do on Friday nights is your business
on the network.
on the network.
On the network. Yes, sir, it is. Well, let's get started. FDIC staff cuts underway. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation plans to cut 20% of its workforce. I mean, don't they keep saying that over and over again? At what point are they really going to cut their workforce? Or
Yeah, I
is
just
it?
want to know have they cut anybody yet? Like all these firings, have they really like besides probationary period workers? Have they really fired anybody else? I'd like to actually that one item and that stat I would love to know.
I don't think they have, but cut the people on top that are creating chaos.
Do you think they're really fighting in the administration?
Do you and I fight?
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, so then, yeah, of course.
So you think there's a leaker inside that's leaking out information that Elon is fighting with the Treasury Secretary and stuff like that? You think there's somebody who's actually leaking that information out there?
Why wouldn't there be? Absolutely. It's been proven time and time again that there's always a leak in one of these government departments.
They found the leakers. It, they found the leakers in the uh, Department of Defense. When found leakers, they fired them. Apparently, I think the story goes they fired them and then they started leaking. So they're coming at Pete again. Pete, who's the Secretary of Defense. They're trying to, this guy. Honestly, whether you're a Republican or Democrat, whether you like him or not, the media has a hard on for him. Like they want him gone. And I'm wondering, like, why would you want some, like, there has to be a reason why somebody has a bullseye on somebody like that. Like, why? What is it? What is it why don't you want him in that position? I would love to, I love to try to figure this out. I really would love to go ahead and figure that one out.
There could be many reasons. You know, he's not doing his job correctly, or something that goes even deeper. What did he do to him? How did whatever he's doing or running that administration, how is it impacting that person that really wants him out?
I just think it's like somebody from the Democratic side, obviously liberal. Let's call for what it is. Media, most of media is owned by people who are Democrats. It's just proven that, just the stats. And I'm
I
just
think I don't
wondering,
think
like,
so.
if they're just going, they've been on him about like his past history where he's admitted to, you know, having an affair on his wife and stuff like that. And they keep on bringing back the past. Like him and his wife are good. They have 7 kids. Like he's fine. Like he's living his best life with his wife. They've moved on. They've made peace. but they keep on just hammering like he's alt right. He's like kind of like they're trying to push the white supremacist, not qualified. He can't be qualified because he was a even though he served in our armed forces, he worked for Fox News, so like he can't be somebody we can trust to run the government. Now this whole signal situation where the information that is only or should be privy to government officials was leaked to somebody who he's not even friends with, was added into the chat from the Atlantic. This guy leaks the information. It at some point, we as Americans, or just people in general, we got to wake up and see like they are trying to just get rid of anybody that knows what the fuck they're doing, whether we like it or not. I'm just saying in general, like this man is pretty smart. He's intelligent. He served in the armed forces. I mean, maybe, just maybe, we give him more than just 13 to 14 weeks to prove himself. Like it's kind of weird. I don't know. Like maybe I'll join you on Sunday for conspiracy theories.
Well, if they want them out, there has to be a motive. If he is good at his job and he's doing everything that he needs to do, they're not giving him the opportunity. Who wants him out? What is the reason and why? Probably because he's not going to bend over and take it. Just like that, he's going to push back, fight back. And if there are other people that are trying to run the government system, then that's probably a reason why they want him out, because he's not going to be just a yes, ma'am, yes, sir type of person.
We got. We'll lay into that one more. We'll definitely lay into that one more because I mean this guy hasn't gotten a fair shot since he came into the goddamn position, and I think that's unfair. We the people voted in, or 77 million people voted for Trump, and Trump gets to decide who he wants to go ahead and work for his cabinet. So allow him to have people run their goddamn positions and help him run this country. It is what it is. I just wanted to throw that out there. Just really weird. Also, like you just mentioned, all these firings, but where are they? Are they really happening? I tend to agree with you. I want to see these, I want to see these cuts. Like I really want to see these cuts actually on paper stating like this actually happened. Um, and moving on, Trump doesn't care who you are. Everyone's getting deported. President Trump says mass deportation trials aren't feasible. They'll take too long. So basically, we ain't doing no trials here. Nobody's trying to hear your ass. We're sending you back home. Do you agree with that approach?
Are you talking to me?
No, unless there's a third person here, I am talking to you, Leslie.
Oh, so you want me to get deported?
N- no. Well, depends on my mood. Depends on the day.
90% of the time, your mood is that type of day that you want me deported. I mean, I keep going to Mexico by myself, walk right into Mexico, and you keep crying for me to come back.
Shit, illegals like you. I'm kidding, guy. Ice, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. She's legal. But should illegal migrants be if you came into this country illegally, should you have okay, if you this sucks because like
Yeah, and I get what you're trying to say, because
it's a
there are,
tricky like
yeah, and there's different situations. But look at what happened. It's like I come from immigrant parents, and I have family members, and they went through the legal process of being able to stay here in America. My thing is, within the last few years, all of the people that were coming in so easily, and they were getting either residents, they were becoming Americans, etc. What about the people that have been here for years, years and years, going through that process, waiting, and then all of a sudden, the last few years, you have all these people that were just able to come in, people that were able to create chaos here in America, rape girls, kill girls, yeah, deport them, deport their asses.
Here's where I stuttered up here. The reason why I stuttered up was I would say I'm in favor of deportation. I'm in favor of, if you came here illegally, you should be deported. But what if it's somebody who's been here, and yes, they came here illegally, but they've been paying taxes and being, they're documented and all, but
Then I
they've
don't
done
agree
everything
with
but
those. I don't
what?
agree with I said I don't agree with that situation. I don't think those should get deported because you've if they've been working here legally, they've been paying their taxes, they've been
Well, they're not
contributing.
working here legally, but they're
Well,
paying
yeah, but
tax.
if they're paying taxes, I mean, they're trying to do something right, right? They're paying taxes, taxes that the government has used to give to other freaking countries to fund other countries that probably didn't even need the money from us. So you had illegal people here funding your freaking system to pay other countries. How is that fair?
I honestly, so my thing, deport everybody, but don't deport those. Give an extension to those who've paid taxes and that are documented, and develop some sort of program to allow them to stay as long as they meet a certain criteria for a certain amount of years. I think
Yeah.
that's fair. For those who aren't documented, who haven't paid anything towards this country, who have just taken resources, who have, you know, committed like human trafficking, you get it, drugs, all that, get their masses out of here. They don't need to see out. They don't need to go through our courts. They need to get the hell back to their countries, whether it's Mexico, whether it's Canada, whether it doesn't matter what country it is. Whatever country of origin, goodbye. Goodbye. We have our own people here to support. And we hardly do that to begin with.
No, and we do have our own people here, but then you have to think about too, it's like even if there is a mass deportation, especially for the people that are actually working here, that have family back home, that work here, pay their taxes, send money back home, all of them get deported. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of jobs available now for Americans. But to be transparent and honest, we do have a shitload of Americans that are lazy as hell that take money from the government and don't want to work and they don't want to do the job that these illegal people are willing to do. There's a lot of Americans that don't want to do gardening jobs, janitorial jobs, cleaning jobs, things like that they may see as beneath them, and that is reality.
Uh, we agree on a topic. I love this. This is
Finally,
crazy. This is great. This is crazy.
for you and I to
Uh,
agree on something.
I guess China's pullout game is strong.
Bro, stop reading my stuff.
Fine, you go. Go for it. Ladies first.
No, you already took it. Go ahead.
Nah, you go ahead.
I guess China's pullout game is strong, David. China is pulling back from new investments in US private equity.
Oh, so sad. Listen, I've been saying for a while now, I don't want the Chinese buying or investing into America. That's the last thing we
So
need.
if
We
they
need
pull out, that means they're not getting Americans pregnant?
Damn, bro, what the hell's going on? What are we talking about here?
Because they pulling out.
That pullout game is definitely strong, man. Their pullout game is definitely strong. I mean, they don't even create kids anymore out there. It is true. It is true. Data states it. Um, yeah, I don't really want them here. I don't want them here. Let's get other people to invest into our country. How about Americans buy land? Hey, here's a concept, Americans. Americans, why don't you buy land up? Land is for
Well,
sale. Why don't you buy
Americans
it?
would buy land if the freaking US government made it easier for them to buy land and not continue to keep them restricted, and then allowing, people from other countries to come and buy a shitload of investment properties here in America. So don't be yelling at Americans to buy land when some of
If
them
they
are
want to
barely
buy
making.
land, they can go buy land. Okay?
Okay. If it
Americans
was
are
that
very
easy, right?
you just said everything we needed to know. Americans are lazy. Okay? Americans are lazy, right? A lot of Americans are lazy. They sit on the couch, they collect a check from our hard-earned, you know, efforts at work, Okay, and then they go to the beach summertime, smoking goddamn Newport's Marble Lights, chilling and relaxing while
Times
we're
you make
working our asses off. That's all I got to say about that. What is this? Oh, anyway, I read that for a second.
I'm turning
let
this
me
on.
remind myself not to read the G Media, not to read the G Media account. If you took out student loans, it might be time to switch to OnlyFans. At least there's a chance to pay off the debt with a little more exposure. The Department of Education will soon resume collections on student loans that have been in default since 2020. So good luck there. Hope that degree, hope that degree was worth it. I'm sure you have a job now at McDonald's instead of, you know, whatever you went ahead and study for. That's liberal arts, yes. I'm sure you liberal arts. I love when people say I graduated bachelor's liberal arts. I'm like, what? What are you
What does
doing
that
with that?
mean?
What are you doing? But yeah, congratulations. You'll be paying up the ass on those loans. Uh, but don't worry, man. You have crypto. Maybe you'll throw in some Solana into some shit coin, and that shit'll just pop off during the weekend while somebody's laying out and tanning and just working on something other than being in the trenches 24/7. Did I say that? I
Yeah, you
said
did.
that just now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Imagine holding Ethereum. Moving on to the next one, David. Am I going too fast? Imagine holding Ethereum only
Damn,
to watch. Wait, what? Only
what?
to proven point how you interrupt me all the time, David. It's recorded here live.
Did that on
So,
purpose?
yeah. Imagine holding Ethereum only to watch gold double its price. Gold hit a roughly high today of $3,440 per ounce.
You know, Landy told me to sell all my Ethereum and go straight into gold. Okay. I didn't listen. I continue to hold Ethereum strong. Now, it's nice to see gold do 34.40 at some point, and that's only because it's only running because people are scared with the current market conditions. They don't know what's going to happen, so people are fleeing, obviously, to precious metals to stay safe. But I eventually, I can see people, taking profits and then shifting it back into the stock market or going into crypto. So either or. But I've also seen, crypto hold strong today. When the whole market, the stock market went to shit, crypto stayed up like it was on Apex.
Probably took Viagra. Didn't have anywhere to release that stuff. But
I think they took Apex.
I think a lot of y'all are taking Apex on the team.
I won't get started. I will not answer for the team.
Yeah, like the intern.
Damn.
The intern and Hotep.
I'm not I'm not moving and saying another word because you yelled at me when I went to the next story.
I mean, the next story is yours, David. And since when do you listen, though? When I try to have a nice combo with you.
Until they accept a trade deal, I'm calling China but China. Goo- Google warns Google warns that the Justice Department's push to break up the company could weaken America's edge against China. What do you think about that? You don't care.
Wait, hold on.
You're too busy with my invisible tie, talking with the intern. Like, who gives a fuck about what the intern has to say tonight?
No, because I agree with him. At least you put on, your blazer.
Jesus Christ. This is what men have to deal with, but go for it.
I mean, it's better than you just coming out here with just a plain old t-shirt. You know what I'm saying?
I do me, yo. I do me, yo.
Okay, so wait. Google warns to break up
I
what
read that
company?
already. I already read
No,
that.
but You asked me what I thought about that, but I'm asking what company.
Google.
Oh, who cares? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Then they're gonna ban me. David, is Trump leaving Japan on red? Japan is reportedly pressing the U.S. trade for clarity, but so far, no response.
Um, maybe Trump is busy. Okay. Maybe you want to hold on, give him a few. Okay. By the way, I do take Apex when I work out. All right. When I go running, I take Apex. So I make sure that people move out the way.
Oh my God. Wait, bruh. No.
What I say? What I
Please do
say?
not be giving that image or telling people that kind of stuff on the live, David.
I take Apex and I go
Yeah.
running and I make sure that like I take it on purpose so people move out the way.
So are you saying you're running with the freaking Woody Woodpecker out there?
It's not out there, but it's
Oh my God.
it,
Why would
it
you be doing and exposing people like
I,
that? Like,
I'm
you guys
heading I'm heading in the right direction.
now I need to freaking definitely go get those freaking eye drops from Mexico because, oh my God. No, David. No. What the hell is wrong with you?
Nothing. I'm running. I love running. I want to get my 10,000 steps in.
Well, you can do it without taking Apex. Like, why do you need to be out there with a freaking Woody Woodpecker freaking running? That's borderline. Um, what is that called?
I
I
don't
can't
know.
even think of the word.
That's that's more like, hey, Dave.
It's almost like those guys that are in a trench coat and then are out there like mooning
Yeah,
people.
I don't know
Yeah,
what you're doing out where you live. Like I don't know what they're doing out there with trench coats. Are you
I
talking
hope there's
about
no kids
flashing
and people
somebody?
around.
I'm not flashing anybody as I'm running. I'm just trying to make sure. Yeah, Landy made me laugh. It's true. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. That was funny. That was funny. That was funny. That was funny. Uh,
Look, even Tammy said immediately no.
what do you mean?
You running with Apex. And so people move out your way. I mean, I know what we're talking about. We're not 5 years old that don't understand what you're trying to say. Wait, was it my turn to read? Oh no, it's yours.
Helicopter, helicopter. Paracofer, paracofer. Helicopter, helicopter,
Do you hear that?
helicopter. Paracofer, paracofer.
Do you hear that?
I do hear it, but I don't get it.
It's funny. How do you don't know about that? Never mind. Keep going.
Sometimes we
That's,
gotta play dumb. Sometimes we just got to play dumb, David. Go for it.
some people don't have to play them. False alarm
Do you want me to
reports
help you out?
initially suggest that the White House was searching for a new Secretary of Defense, but this has since been debunked. And G Media hasn't deleted it. Good job, intern. Let's play something for the intern.
Helicopter, helicopter. Paracofer, paracofer. Helicopter.
I'm just saying.
Taste the rainbow or taste the red dye. The Department of Health and Human Services will unveil a plan Tuesday to ban petroleum based food dyes led by Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Yes, about damn time. Let's freaking go trying to kill us and our kids.
Helicopter, helicopter.
Intern. No, I'm not wearing basketball shorts. I'm wearing running pants.
Yo, I'm dead. All right. The IRS says it's not used to rough treatment, so go easy on them. The IRS could miss out on $500 billion in tax revenue this year. How do you feel about that?
F them.
Are you on like delay?
No. I just paused for 5 seconds. That was awesome.
What the fuck was that just now?
Oh my god, you called me dumb, so I'm gonna act dumb and delayed.
I didn't say. I did not call you dumb.
We could rewind it. I said sometimes some of us act dumb, and then you responded to that saying some of y'all don't need to act dumb. So basically, you called me dumb.
Hey, listen. If the shoe fits, wear it. Then, like, did I say Leslie?
No, so don't complain when I show you my dumbness.
Again, further proof that I did not say anything. One keeps outing herself.
China's announced a new policy to import Chinese goods. You'll need to have for China. China and the UAE have signed a 5-year liquefied natural gas deal completely bypassing US supplies.
Who cares? Like, this is news? Like, who cares? Trump keeps leading us on. President Trump says a Russia-Ukraine peace deal could happen this week. Do you care, Leslie, if a peace deal finally happens between Russia and Ukraine?
How is it going to affect us?
The markets might go up.
If they do agree to a peace deal,
Yes,
what else?
that's it. That's all I can see. And peace, and innocent people don't have to die.
Well, then that's a good thing, then, right? Finally, I was able to ask questions and we were able to talk it through without my questions puffing up somebody's hair. Trump says, "Who's your daddy?" That's right. Trump says the tariffs are working. Everyone's coming to the table.
Well, today India went ahead and earlier today put a 12% tariff on China. So it's the first country, at least unless I didn't read it and I missed it today.
Wait, you misspelled it. You
Who missed
mispronounced
it?
it. China.
India?
No, you said China.
Yeah, what am I supposed to say?
For China.
For China. So for China, yes. But India is the first country to put tariffs on them, 12%. So, that's a big country to go ahead and put a tariff on China or vagina,
For China.
for
Not,
China.
yeah,
Whatever.
China. For China.
No difference. Let's call it for what it is. Let's not beat behind everything's coming out wrong, but let's not beat behind the bush.
I heard a lot of you men like to be behind the bush.
If you're still sidelined, I hope you're okay with no lube. Deutsche
Yeah,
Bank
behind and no lube.
Standard Chartered plan to expand their crypto operations in the US. Congratulations. I don't get it. Like, crypto keeps winning. Like, every single thing, bullish news, but I'm still waiting for some negative news. We
If
haven't
we
got
keep
negative news
winning,
yet.
how come we're down in the slumps?
We're
In
not
the
down. We're not.
A lot of meme coins are down. A lot of them don't have money. A lot of them, we kind of are down.
Yeah, I call them douche bank, like, because I don't really, honestly don't care. I hate banks. I am not one to care for any single bank. I despise all these banks. Okay, there's a lot of things I want to call J.P. Morgan right now. Trust me. I just would like to keep the network. That's all. Um,
Fun
Leslie,
fact.
back to you.
Yes, sir. Fun fact, the J in JD Vance stands for Jeet. Prime Minister Modi welcomed Vice President JD Vance and his family to India earlier today.
Yeah, JD Vance. I would actually be scared if I was the prime minister, because JD Vance met with the Pope yesterday, and then the Pope died today. So I'd kind of be
Mysteriously
scared.
died today.
Mysteriously,
Oh, it's just a conspiracy.
I'm sure you'll be talking about it on Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with the other
That's
psychopath,
right.
Tammy. As you guys,
Wait, Tammy is no psychopath. And if you're going to call Tammy a psychopath, guess what? Psychopath knows psychopath. And you are the biggest psychopath that I know. Crazy as
no,
hell.
no. The two psychopath. Hey guys, tune in Sundays where these psychopaths they get together and they start talking about whether or not we're eating real rice. Is the rice real? On the next conspiracy reports. Is the rice real? Is this really water we're drinking? Are we really breathing air?
You know, the crazy thing is, like, you call us psychopath, and you're probably the worst one of them all because you love our show and you have us here working with you. And even if we want to get rid of you or you want to get rid of us, you still can't. We're still here.
Let me tell you how. Yeah, let me tell you how gay. Uh, Actually, no, they're not. Let me just tell you how weird these people are right here. So, this guy, Mister Espresso Shot, he probably loves you, right? He's probably like fascinated. He's probably gooning off to you. Who knows what? Who knows what's happening right now, right? So he feels he needs to come in here and take shots at me. Listen, it's not my fault that you weren't born genetically gifted like me. That's it. Just understand, like, hey, there are people that I'm 5'10". There are people that are 7'1". I'm not genetically gifted height wise, okay? But I ain't out there screaming tally and shit like that, and like I'm not biting at their ankles, okay? Relax. Act like you've been here before. Act like you've been to the prom with a girl. It's okay. Relax. Go ahead. I'm sorry. What? I'm just saying.
David, the next one is yours. You're up next. I can't hear you.
I said Tammy's in here waving her finger at me.
Good.
Um,
You need it sometimes.
India's got some balls. Love to see it. India just, and we talked about this, India just imposed a 12% tariff on Chinese steel. Let's go.
David, you like to see-
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know you like to see balls. On that,
What?
no, I just asked you if you like to see India's balls, and you said yes.
What am I, Kanye?
Yeah.
Oh, this one's perfect for you. Go ahead and represent for your country.
Mexico's president says Trump's no longer invited to the cookout. Mexico's president says no final trade deal has been reached with Trump.
You think Trump reaches a deal with Mexico?
I think so. I think they will because it benefits both countries. I just don't think because she is a woman, she's going to lay down and take it without any Vaseline. It's like, no, bro, at least tease me a little bit, at least get me hot and bothered before, you want to come and put it in. But nah, just because she's a female and I love, yes, I'm an American. Yes, I love America. And yes, I live in America. But, my ancestry, my parents, my family, Mexican. And I think having a female president, and I've been watching her very closely, And she just doesn't take it. It's like she is going to do what she thinks is best for her country, for her people, and she's going to take care of them. And it's like she's not afraid to step up to Trump. She's going to be like, "What's up, bro? Yo."
And she's Jewish.
Exactly.
A Mexican Jewish woman.
Latino.
Oh my
Woo,
God.
fire. She is fire.
Jesus.
Love
I
her.
feel bad for her husband. Moving on. Holy fuck.
She packs the
Trump's
heat,
calling
David.
what?
Nothing. Go.
Trump's calling everyone out like it's a rap battle. Trump Trump went after Fed Chair Jerome Powell on Truth Social, accusing him of acting too late unless it's an election year to help Biden and Harris. And apparently, I guess they missed out in this very thing. What acting too late to what? Oh, if I didn't read the news, I wouldn't know, or if I wasn't reporting on it, I wouldn't know. But I think this is referring to cutting rates. Trump came out today and he was going completely apeshit on Truth Social, talking about, Jerome Powell would have already cut the rates if it was Kamala or if it was Biden. And I just saw that shit through the eagle eye that I have, and I can like boom, that shit hit me. Bring Hotep in here. Look at the disrespect. You see, this is what happens because I don't get freaky on Fridays. I act because I'm here representing the Gokhshtein News Network. Okay, I'm keeping it 100% professional. Okay, now they want Hotep Jesus.
I
Okay,
mean,
I see where your mind's at. I know what you
Frisky
motherfuckers are
Friday.
thinking.
Yeah, the Frisky show only happens on Friday.
Unreal.
Frisky Fridays. Guys, you guys have to come back on Fridays. Trump said
Trump says you need a new internet connection. That's right. Guess what you're doing right now? You're frozen. You are frozen. Madonna had a song, Frozen, back in the days. It was like 1999. Frozen. That's what you are. Like the movie Frozen. That's what you are right now. Guess what? This is my show right now as you're frozen in time, right? You are frozen. Maybe you should take some Apex.
I'm back.
Hey, what's going on? I was waiting.
Did I finish reading the whole thing? I'm not sure when I lost connection.
I'm not sure either.
Did you guys read everything that I said about Trump wanting a boxing match with Powell?
We heard that, but then you froze up.
Did you hear shots fired at the Fed chair? Trump says the economy may slow unless the Fed cuts rates, turning up the pressure on Powell again.
No, I didn't hear that one.
Okay, well, now you heard it. Now you can go on to yours.
I've been trying to pull mine up right. Oh my god, that doesn't sound right. Where is this? Where is I'm trying to pull it up, trying to pull it up. Relax. Trump says he wants a boxing match with Powell. Loser steps
I
down.
just read that.
No, you weren't here. So let me read that again. You weren't here for that.
I just literally read it.
Read it again because you were frozen in time.
And now I'm back in time. David, I just literally read that. And you said, yeah, you heard that part.
No, I didn't hear this part. My bad. That's my fault.
Then pay attention. You want me to pay attention? Pay attention. I'm rereading this disclaimer because David did not hear me previously read this. So I'm having to reread this because David wants me to reread this. Trump says he wants a boxing match with Powell. Loser steps down. Shots fired at the Fed chair. Trump says the economy may slow unless the Fed cuts rates, turning up the pressure on Powell again.
He just wants him gone, so get rid of him. You know what? The right move for Powell would be to just step down. Just step down, pal. because he's not gonna stop. Just step down, save yourself the headache. Time to retire. Yo, what the fuck is wrong with Ethereum, man? Really, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to lose my cool.
I mean, and Powell might just keep in office to piss everybody else off since, they really want Powell to do all this stuff and he really can't fire him without cause. Therefore, Powell might, continue to give him resistance and piss people off and not cut rates. It's going to be a tug of war here in America.
I think he's doing it on purpose, but he's hurting the economy. Michael Saylor, though, says he took it personally and started buying even more Bitcoin after he found out Scotty met Satoshi and he didn't. MicroStrategy's added 6,556 Bitcoin over the last week, spending $555.8 million at an average price of 84,785. That is wild.
So can we
It
really
is
trust and
wild.
believe that Scotty did meet Satoshi?
Scotty smoking.
Scotty Pippen,
He's smoking.
that ganja.
Big time.
David, looks like crime season is back. Pro Bitcoin advocate Paul Atkins has officially been sworn in as the new chair of the SEC.
And on the final one that was written by the intern, will the next pope be pro crypto? Earlier today, the Vatican confirmed the death of Pope Francis. Rest in peace to the Pope.
RIP.
RIP. That's right. One thing that wasn't in here tonight was obviously the Yeezy post. So Yeezy went ahead and posted out some weird ass. I mean, I can read. Let me read this. I guess I can read this out here. When I seen this, I was like, "What is happening?" I thought it was fake, but apparently it's not. But everybody has access to his account, so I don't really know if it's true or not. But here it goes. This song is called "Cousin," about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6 and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. Here goes the part. This is Kanye's tweet. My name is Ye, and I. Okay, I gotta try this again. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's bleep till I was 14. That is a tweet. That is a tweet. Hold on one second. This account is it's a rebound, which is not a good. Okay, so wow. So I'm like, this is real and it's community noted. So this is real. I'm in shock. I don't know what to say.
Maybe he is going through a self healing journey right now. And part of the process of that self healing journey is to identify what the hell is happening with him emotionally, mentally. And, sometimes you have to travel back in time to when you were a kid to see, what impacted and affected you and your behavior as an adult. And maybe that's part of the healing process. And he wants to tell it to the world, the things that happened to him when he was a kid. So is he gay now?
I don't know. Childhood trauma. We don't know what. For me, I'm thinking about this. Here he goes. He tweets this out there. First of all, we need to figure out whether or not somebody else tweeted this out on his account because it seems like there are tons of people that have access to his account. So what if somebody else tweeted this out and it wasn't Kanye, right? What
Mhm.
happens there, right? Um, but if it's Kanye, then you know that here's the trauma. Here's the trauma that he's dealing with. What more is there? What more is there? Or are we gonna hear? What's gonna happen? Is it gonna? We're gonna see something come out tomorrow where they're gonna say, the Jews did it. The Jews had got access to my account and they try to go ahead and take me down. Like I, I'm just looking for. I'm kind of looking for the next. If this is a 1-2, I'm looking for the 2 to come in, and I'm wondering if that's next. So I don't know. This is kind of weird, honestly. This is really getting weird. Kanye needs help, man. Like I'm gonna say this, and I don't. uh, It's the truth. He needs help. Like the entire world is watching this man. This guy was like the greatest producer of all time. Or you put him right there with Timbaland and Pharrell and Swiss Beats, RZA. Like you have a lot of people that are great producers. Dr. Dre. My apologies, not to include Dre in there. He's right up there, Kanye. And then like the downfall has been crazy. The downfall of Kanye has absolutely been psychotic. It just begs the question: are the Kardashians behind this? Like, are we not talking? Like every single person that has dated a Kardashian, think about it. Scott, I forgot his last name, but that guy Scott, right? He went to rehab multiple times after dating Courtney, right? Here's Kanye after Kim. Like I was about to say something else, but I'm kind of like friendly with that person, so I won't say anything. And when I mean friendly, like we all know this person, I'm friendly with them, but it's just like, what is happening here? What is happening? I'm just saying, what is happening? Landy says Bark tweeted it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what do you make of this, Leslie?
I mean, I think what you just said about the Kardashians is just a conspiracy theory, or it could be a product of, the men that have come into their life. And then once that woman leaves, that's their karma. Because, a lot of the times women are placed in your life as spiritual guides, and you do some messed up shit, you leave, and then guess what? It's like once they're no longer in your life, once they don't have that protection, then all of your world falls apart, and then you get that karma that you needed to get. Who knows? Maybe that's just a conspiracy. But I mean, even Kanye, I mean, did he start going crazy prior to Kim? Wasn't he already kind of like out there?
I think so, but something happened, and I really do think Kanye might have CTE because he had that crazy car accident that almost killed him. He did suffer brain damage. So to me, it's like, and what I mean by brain damage, like a concussion technically is brain damage. So he did suffer a really bad injury. Obviously, broke his jaw and everything. His mom died. Maybe that's having some sort of effect on him. It's only gotten worse and worse and worse. I'm sorry, what we're talking about, such a downfall is wild. Like think about that, Les. He was
I mean, but do
five
you
billion
really think,
dollars, $10
yeah,
billion net worth. He had
but do you really think
Adidas.
it's a downfall though? Or do you really think he is on a road of really exposing so much
But what is he exposed
negativity?
really? Like
So
Leslie, what is he exposed though? Like what? Like what has he exposed that made you say, "Oh my god, I didn't realize this"? Honestly, be honest. I'd love to hear it.
I think one of the things is like, the learning certain things like the swastika, right? When he was posting it, and it's like we were like, oh my god, that is racist, Nazi, etc. And the more research I did on it, the more research I did on it, and then doing conspiracy theory spaces, exact, I have everything written down and I can't pull it up right now. But one of the things that I learned, it was that was actually a design that was already in the sky and in the stars, but it was, you know, the Nazis flipped it. So the swastika was not a bad thing to begin with. It was just taken and used for bad, etc. And it's like maybe he's bringing, because he does believe in God. He talks about God, etc., and all his things, and some of the things that are in the Bible are some of the things that he is doing absolutely bonkers and crazy. Yeah, but I think the way that he is exposing certain things to come up and certain truth or certain things for us to really do our due diligence and not be brainwashed by media and society, he's putting it out there. Maybe his delivery is off, maybe his delivery is off putting, but I think if you really take a step back instead of being like, you know what, he is bonkers, he is crazy, and then just trying to understand and do research on what he's putting out, I mean, there are some learning opportunities, some learning curves.
Uh, I know its history, the symbol, and it goes back. Unfortunately, Hitler and the Nazis grabbed it. So like that symbol will always represent
They flipped
something,
it and made it something very bad and demonic.
but now you see it and like it that that's it. It's done. Like it's just like there's nothing that will ever happen to make it okay again because that's history. Unfortunately, like the Greeks used it, the Egyptians. There are a lot of people that can name out that use that. Even Christians used it. So, but at the end of the day, here comes Hitler, the Nazis. They take it on and they turn it into a symbol that can't be erased out of people's minds anymore.
Yeah.
So, uh, I mean, if everybody got an education from Kanye on that, great. But like Kanye went on talking about Hitler's a great guy. Look, I see that. Look, let me say something. I see this all the time on X, formerly known as Twitter, where I come on and there are people. There were people like wishing Hitler a happy birthday, and I'm watching this like even if I wasn't Jewish, I'd be like, all right, I I understand you guys read into these third party news articles and all this stuff, but like there is literally evidence showing that this shit happened, and you have people trying to erase the truth, and it's just wild to see. Like, uh, there have been, I'll save this for another time, no doubt about it. But the it happened. Like 6 million people plus died due to Hitler, 100%. Okay, Candace went to Congress and she sat there during a hearing saying how vicious and nasty this man is. And then she flipped because she wasn't getting the impressions. I know exactly how this whole thing works. I know how clickbait works. Congratulations on it. But what you're doing is it's unjust to people that are trying to learn. Because people go on social media now to, now after the pandemic, they really start to try to see things that aren't really there. That's how I feel. There are things that are right, like China. We know they were hiding it for a very long time, but COVID obviously leaked out of the lab. I love what the White House has done. They have posted that on their, on the COVID website and stuff. But like stuff like this, like I don't know, man. I just don't. The same people say they have no hatred for Jews, but yet they talk about Jews all day long. Well, what do you think is going to happen? The anti-Semitism is going to rise. Like people will start to get angry at Jews, just like people started getting angry at Asians. There was a time a few years, it wasn't even a few years ago, it was like 10 years ago, where Asians were getting hit in the streets. It happens when you have this kind of language being pushed out there. This stuff starts happening. People will be responsible. These people will be responsible, and they make money off of this. But these people will be responsible for people getting hit over the head just Jewish kids walking to their car, walking to school, getting hit over the head that have nothing to do with anything. I got so much shit to say on this, but I've always held back on this stuff. I really don't want, I've always tried to not dip. I've always tried to not go into these waters. Like I don't want to go here because there's no winning. There is absolutely no winning. History doesn't matter, right? History at this point, as I sit back when listening to people and going into these spaces and just listening, it seems like history doesn't matter, you know? So I don't know. I mean, I can count on in my family about 14 people got murdered. Right in and it was the Nazis. It wasn't Jews dressed up as Nazis. It was just Nazis that murdered them for no reason. They were just minding their own business. But that was fake, I guess. That again, I have a lot to say, right? And I'm sure there are a lot of people that have a lot to say. But some of us choose not to say anything. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it's the problem that there are, and this is what happened back then. Jews chose to not say anything, and that's what and they ended up, 6 million people ended up getting killed for not saying anything. So I don't know. I can go on and on. I care, honestly. I really do care about every life. Every life matters, regardless of what religion you are. Christian, Catholic, Jewish, Muslim. Everybody matters, and nothing's cool, right? I wish that the war could stop in the Middle East. I wish that shit can come to an end, because none of it's right. None of it's fucking right. But like, that anti-Semitism is at all-time highs, man. That shit is really on all-time highs, big time. But then people use an excuse and they say, "Oh no, we're talking about the Zionist." Oh no, we're just talking about them. No, you're really talking about every single Jew, and we know where you're getting at, and it's okay. It's fine. We've been slapped around, but then like there's the joke. Well, why have you been slapped around since the beginning of time? So at this point it's fine. I'm done on my soap. I can really bust open, but I'm done with my rant. I'm sure they'll take it and dissect it.
They take and dissect anything anybody says out here on social media. I mean, that is the nature of what we do, isn't it?
I like to. Holy shit! An hour. We hit literally an hour. I like to thank, obviously, Leslie Moda. I like to thank myself for showing up and being so gorgeous here,
Oh
and
God.
handsome and good on the eyes. I want to thank everybody who's tuned in. I will be back tomorrow hosting the nightly recap at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Gokhshtein News Network. Tune in Wednesday, Leslie, Thursday, me, and then after hours Friday as Leslie and Hotep, Jesus, both take some Apex and they go into the news as they talk about the latest and recap the entire week. So there you go. Yes, I
Yes.
call myself gorgeous and handsome, and absolutely.
I mean, if David is not calling himself handsome, gorgeous, who else is going to do it? Obviously, he has to do it for himself. Let's not start with the stripping thing. Fix your shirt too. I already told you, fix your shirt.
And that obviously
Fix your shirt.
no, the shirt is like this. Look. Let me show you something. Let me show you something.
There
Okay?
you go, and then pull it down from the back. Fix it.
No, there's no pulling down. There's no pulling down. It's a. When I stand up, I'll show you after this.
Oh my God. It's like what?
Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you guys.
It's like one of my kids when I have to tell them to fix their damn clothes.
That's Leslie Moda. I'm David Gokhshtein, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Click, 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 click. Click,
Guys,
click.
fix your shirts and iron your shirts, please.
Oh my
We
God,
will
they
back
are iron, bro. Like, hold on. Look at this. Look at this. Look. See, hold
fix
on.
the
I'm showing off my muscles
very
now. See, like, hold on,
oh
hold on.
my
I didn't
god,
hold my
guys.
shirt.
Oh my